Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 2 in the Premier League, and it was an excellent comeback from Chelsea, who looked dead and buried at the end of the first half after conceding two good goals from Aston Villa, one very early, one relatively late in that first half. Confidence on the floor, but it was a second half performance for Chelsea fans to be proud of, a second half performance to grow from, a second half display, excellent structure, wonderful teamwork, pressing at the right time, really nullifying one of the best teams in the league away from home, goals scored as well. Conor Gallagher, the shining star, in that deeper role next to Caicedo again, just like the Everton game. It brings more balance to Chelsea. Doesn't mean he's a better player than whoever else might go into that role, but the team just looks more balanced with Madueke on the right, Palmer playing in that more central role. And I think it took them a little while in this game to sort of blow the Arsenal cobwebs away somewhat. But when they found their feet, they got that goal from Madueke, really good finish from the young man. He had a decent game as well. He's putting a lot of pressure on, attacking a lot. Things weren't quite going his way, but an excellent press from Gallagher. He wins the ball back from Douglas Luiz. It ends up in the box, slightly fortuitous on how it fell to Madueke, but he tucks it away nicely. And then Chelsea just continued to grow from that point. And Conor Gallagher's goal was an absolute thing of beauty. It was an absolute thing of beauty to equalize. And from that stage, it only looked like there was going to be one winner. Ollie Watkins had an excellent chance. To go 3-2 up and missed. And then the controversial moment of the night, a ball crossed in the end, a perceived push in the back. I'm not even too sure which Aston Villa player it was. I have to go back and watch. From Badiashile, Disasi in the middle puts it away. There are huge celebrations, not just at Villa Park, but all across West London, and Chelsea fans everywhere around the world. They thought they had the comeback. They thought they had the famous win, closing in on a European position. A brilliant way to Diego Carlos, who it was. There we go. Thank you. A brilliant way to end a really, really horrible week. But it wasn't to be. And the big question is, have Chelsea been robbed? And I want to pose that question to you. The viewers. Do you think Chelsea were robbed? Don't just say yes or no. Say yes or no, I'm going to ignore it. I want to know why. It was a shoulder barge in the middle of the back. Do you think that should be allowed? Give me your thoughts. Give me your feelings in the comment section below. I want to hear from each and every single one of you. Terry, when Enzo was playing, we beat them 3-1. Right, okay. I'm just talking about the form that your team's been in recently, my friend. And the Everton, listen, understand what I'm saying here. I'm not doing agendas up. The best two games I've seen Chelsea play in months has been this game and the Everton game. And I said the team has more balance. This isn't about who the best individual players are. It's about the team having balance. Very, very important in football. That's all I said. Not about slagging anybody off. So relax. Softest foul ever. Last week, Madueke got flattened, and yet the goal for Arsenal still stood. Joke. This is what's crazy about it. We saw, when it comes to this foul, I don't remember which defender it was. It might have been Ake. It could have been a Kanji. Go right through the back of a Crystal Palace player. No foul given for a penalty. This was nowhere near as much force. At the same time, we saw a push in the back of Gabriel earlier on this season, not given. Okay, a push and pressure down, and the referee set a precedent then. So my view was, I think it's a foul. I think when you nudge someone in the back like that, you're gaining a real big advantage. where I would challenge VAR, if you're not giving the penalty to Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago, and if you're coming out on national TV and defending the push in the back on Gabriel, how are you then overturning this decision? So let me just, for a minute, put my view that I think the push in the back's a foul. I think when you barge somebody with your shoulder in the middle of their back, it's a foul, okay? But it's the inconsistency, which I understand Chelsea fans are going to have a problem with. A clear robbery, the player was nowhere near the ball, and the push did not affect the overall play. So I'd have to watch it again. If somebody could send me a link on my Twitter, that'd be great. I thought Carlos was going to head the ball, and he got pushed out the way. I'd have to go back and watch it again. Lime here says clear foul. If it had been the other way around, it would have been a pen. But this is the thing. I don't think you'd get a penalty for it. And the threshold for getting a penalty may be a little bit higher, but it's crazy. Josa here says it's a contact sport, never a foul. Robbery, how do we get on the show, Tel? We'll share the link. We'll share the link in the comment section in a little bit for people to come on and have their say. Give us your thoughts and feelings on that. No, Carlos got pushed. It's only that he didn't dive around. It's a foul push at the back. Never a foul. So many goals and attacks that have come from slight nudges in the back. It's all about how VAR and the referee feel on the day. Joke. Thank you very much for your thoughts on that. The decision might cost my team Tottenham top 4. That is unacceptable. Chelsea clowns are going mad over an obvious foul. Shows how low they have fallen. The Newcastle goal was given, by the way. No, I understand, and this is the point I'm making. I think pushing. I've got to stay consistent. I've called the push in the back recently on the City on Crystal Palace a foul. Okay, I said that Gabriel was fouled in the Newcastle Arsenal game. I then can't change my opinion that a push in the back is a foul. I think it is. You're making no attempt to play the ball. You're playing the man. Leaning into a shoulder is fine because you can do shoulder to shoulder barging in football. You can't barge someone in the back. There was a foul given a little bit earlier on in the game. When Mahalo Mudryk did it to Cash. So you've got to keep the consistency. But where I would stand shoulder to shoulder with Chelsea is, how can you turn around Howard Webb, PGMOL, defend the push in the back on Gabriel and say that you can't tell how much force is in it, right? But then give this one. That's my problem with this decision. It's the inconsistency surrounding it as opposed to the decision given. If it's Man City, the goal would stand. I do agree with that. That's a foul, just like Gabriel incident. Anyways, if that's Newcastle, ball out of play, pushing the back, offside too. I hear you there, my friend. If that was in the midfield, it would have been given. It wouldn't have been given as a foul. See, I think if that happened in the midfield, it would have been given instantly. I almost feel like the referee on this occasion has gone, damn, that looked like a foul, but I'm going to let it go and let VAR tell me. That's how it felt to me. Only question I would ask is, if that challenge was in the center circle, would it be given? Caicedo superb tonight. I will say the second part on that, Caicedo was excellent. Absolutely majestic today. His distribution, his ability to hold on to the ball under pressure, his pressure-resistant nature, some of the tackles and areas that he won the ball back, absolutely brilliant from him. My problem is that's never been given as a penalty. It should not be disallowed. VAR has more than anything else become a tool to disallow goals. I hear you on that. Caicedo today showed why he's... By the way, if you're someone that thought that Newcastle's goal should have stood, I can understand why you think this one should stand. It's just about people being consistent with their opinions. Today, Caicedo showed why he's worth the money we paid. And the sad part about all this Caicedo debate is that he plays like this every single game. I wouldn't say he's played as well as this in every single game, but there's a player in there. I just think it isn't even about Gallagher being next to him, because people will twist it into a Gallagher-Enzo conversation, although Gallagher was excellent today. There's something about this team that played, this sort of Gallagher and Caicedo together, Palmer in the 10, Pace on the wings, and Jackson. There's something about it that gives Chelsea a balance. There's something about it that brings the best out of everybody. And I'm sure other managers have said this, but the great late Sir Alf Ramsey, the man that won England the World Cup in 1966, he had a saying, and it's that you should never pick your best team, best players. you should pick your best team. They're not the same thing. And I know we live in a world now where a lot of football fans judge everybody based on their ability. Therefore, they go, well, you put the best 11 players with the best ability possible on the pitch. It doesn't always work that way. It's about balance, light and shade, helping one another. Two different styles that sit together may create a better partnership than two better players working together. We saw it with England. On paper, Gerrard and Lampard together sounds amazing. In reality, it was awful. It was like water and oil. It just never worked. So I'm not. And by the way, I'm going to say this because it's important. Just because it's looked good twice doesn't mean this is it. You need a far bigger body of work to know if this is going to happen. But and it shouldn't be used as a way to attack Enzo. Some will twist my words into that, but that's their brain working in that bad way, not mine personally. Caicedo showed today why he's worth so much money, and the sad part. Okay, so we've already done that one. Thank you. We have been absolutely robbed, Terry, is what Karen says here. Thank you, bro, for your super chat. Maybe Enzo was the issue in that midfield. So, but I don't think it's about Enzo per se. I don't think he's been particularly great, but I think it's about the balance. Anita, I won't plagiarize what Anita said. Big up Anita from Gold Diggers. She said it in one of our group chats the other day. Maybe Caicedo and Enzo just can't play well together. It's not about Enzo being shit or Caicedo being rubbish. It's about the partnership. Sometimes these things happen. It was disallowed because we don't wear baby blue, is what Matter says here. Should have been more time after the goal and VAR. Yeah, I thought so. I thought there should have been another minute or so still to play in that game personally, but that's just me. That's just me. Panel going to be coming out very, very soon to have their say. Sam's joining us on the show in a moment as well. But I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions on today's game. I suppose Spurs are going to come out of this with, you know, a little bit more joy. 2 games in hand. If they win them both, they go 1 point behind Aston Villa, which makes the top 4 race really exciting. Chelsea now, what are they off 6th place behind Man United? 6 points behind Man United with a game in hand as well. So, yeah, look, the European places and the races for them really heating up in the last 3 or 4 games of the season. Exciting times ahead. So, Sam, are you there, bro? Your camera's not on. I don't know if he's there or not. I'm going to bring him out, but I don't know if he's there. I know I've got Winter Surfer who's backstage with us as well now. Welcome back to the show, mate. Give me your thoughts on... We'll start with the performance from Chelsea because it was a stellar second half.
Yeah, important word there. Second half. First half we were crap as per usual. He made slight adjustments. I think he moved Cucurella more centrally next to Caicedo and pushed Gallagher more up front. There we pressed them, and yeah, they cracked. Good pressure on the ball. They couldn't really do much until really late in the second half. It was good fight back, and everyone's gone on about a foul, but if you ask me, Cole Palmer should have buried that and made it 3-2 before even a foul happened. So that's where I like. Going to the foul, if that was the other way around, I would have been calling for a foul. So I understand why they gave it. It's clear nudge in the back. I understand that, but yeah, I don't even look at that. I look at the Cole Palmer missed chance to make it 3-2. Really, he should have buried that, and we shouldn't be talking about the foul. We should be 3-2 up. But what I hate is that it had to come to this to make them do this in the second half. To just make the changes early in the first half if it's not working. That's what I couldn't figure out, because we were getting overrun in midfield again. But you know, and like I said, I don't know. I'm running out of language for this team this season. I swear to God, I don't know what to to talk about with this team anymore, because they'll do that. And it is the old saying, isn't it? It's a tale of 2 halves. That's what it was this game. A literal tale of 2 halves. That's what it was.
It certainly was. And look, I get your point. First half wasn't particularly great, but it was missed chances again in the first half. I mean, Jackson, he finished one well, but was offside. He had the header where he hit the post where it was easier to score. And although they took the early lead, I felt that you were still the better team in terms of your approach play and maybe not even chances, but opportunities for chances. But in the second half, you just took that to another level.
Yeah, I think the first half, the difference with the second half is the first half we were very passive and slow with the pass and allowed Villa to get back in shape. I know we created those couple of chances for the second half. We pressed them. And Villa just couldn't do anything. They had that Ollie Watkins chance, I think, after 2-2. That was basically it. That was the difference. Second half, we were more passive. I think this team is better doing the second half job than it is than what we saw in the first half. We're better when we allow the team, the opposition, to try and have the ball and then press them. We've seen it against City 3 times this season. We let them have the ball and we press them. And that's what I'm going to. I like that. I don't mind playing that football. I just wish we would stick to it and do it every game. I just wish we would do that.
Yeah.
That's all. We're not good enough. We saw it in the first half. We're just too slow in the build-up. We'll get the chances, but it's just too much. Just let the other team have the ball.
Andrew, there's a lot you didn't unpack, though. Do you think you're better without Enzo? No agenda. Because he just doesn't suit the Premier League. Have we ever thought about that?
I don't know. First half, we were, that didn't show anything. And then he moved Cucurella in the second half, and that worked. So...
Can I say something, Andrew?
I don't really care. I really don't care who's in the middle at the moment. I really
Winter Surfer, can I say something? Guys,
he's too slow for this league. Physically, he's too slow for this league,
I don't care at this moment in time. I just want to get the results. I really don't care.
Guys, do you think Conor Gallagher is more useful than Enzo Fernandes?
In the second half, doing what he did, But
okay, overall, Conor Gallagher, yes, he's not the greatest player on earth. He doesn't move the ball well. He's not fantastic. But you can use him in the Premier League. You can use him as Galadog. And he will, we're not sitting here and saying Conor Gallagher. Like, people just mistaking what we say, that Conor Gallagher is Ronaldinho. No one ever claimed that. But Chelsea fans, when we sit here and say, well, Conor Gallagher some games is useful to run around and tackle people and cover this and cover that, and he will pop up every now and then. Well, that's someone who is a coach can use someone like this in the squad. But Chelsea fans were so quick to sell Conor Gallagher, keep this guy. Well, he is every team, like Endo for Liverpool. He isn't the greatest player on earth. He's useful. Even Man City used to have players like this. You don't have to be the greatest player on earth, but you can be useful for the coach. But nobody wants to say that. Everybody's like, oh, I want this amazing footballer. Well, Makaleli, I'm not saying Gallagher is Makaleli, wasn't the greatest footballer on earth, but he was very useful, but he was doing his job magnificent. A lot of players in the world aren't the greatest footballers, but we aren't going to get 11 Ronaldinhos or 11 Cole Palmers to play on the pitch. That's not how football works. But some Chelsea fans want us to think that we need 11 Cole Palmers. Like, I need 11 Cole Palmers to play.
I hear what you're saying, and my thing is on Chelsea. This is just once again the same stuff that we've seen over and over and over again. I defend Pochettino for good reason, because this is just the quality of this team. First of all, let me just address the elephant in the room. If Chelsea were wearing light blue and they were from the city of Manchester, that foul would have not been given. I'm not going to swear because I don't want to end up burning in hell because of Man City, but I am 99.9999% certain if they were a certain club from Manchester and they were just had a lighter shade of blue, that foul would not have been given. I'm so sorry, it wouldn't have been given. And this is the standard of refereeing in this league, never consistent. And speaking of never consistent, here we go. Nicholas Jackson, once again, right in front of goal. Header, boom, missed the target. And then again in front of goal, and he decides to just dance, and then wait for Olsen to just clear the ball away. That Nicholas Jackson guy, I'm so sorry. You could tell me as a footballer this, as a footballer that. We had this debate on Friday, Terry. I don't give a shit about this footballer that. At the end of the day, the guy's not good enough. Guy's not good enough when it comes to actually converting chances. There's 3 good players in this Chelsea side. 3 and 3 only. Caicedo, Palmer, and Gusto. Other than that, everyone should be is expandable. Everyone's not good enough. None of them are amazing. None of them are great. People keep focusing on the manager. Let me just say the truth right here. If Chelsea sack Pochettino tomorrow, nothing's changing. Nothing will change at Chelsea Football Club. I'm a Liverpool fan. Jurgen Klopp would take Chelsea from 8th to 7th. That's the reality right there. Like, I'm actually being dead serious, because the stuff that Chelsea have done in the transfer market is what led them here to begin with. At the end of the day, you look at the Chelsea front line and they have let Chelsea fans down over and over and over and over again. Cole Palmer today, actually, I'm so glad Andrew mentioned that. If he slots that in, that's 3-2 right there. Matter. That's
Foul
mission
doesn't matter.
successful. Then the foul
Yeah.
doesn't matter, as you said. That's mission
Yeah.
successful. So for me, they went to Villa Park, a place that that Arsenal and City lost at. They ended up leaving with a draw after being 2-0 down. I cannot sit up here and say anything about the manager. That's why I've been so like opinionated when it comes to Poch. I just don't think that Chelsea actually have good players. I read genuinely deep down. I actually don't believe that. And the reason, and this is the final thing I'll say on this before I know CB just joined. Big up CB. Big up. The reason why I say Chelsea play better without Enzo, it has nothing to do with his footballing ability. It has nothing to do with any of that. No buzzwords. The reason why they play better without Enzo is purely physical. He is not physical enough for this league. I just don't think he has what it takes for it, because these are the words that people hate: passion, desire, physicality. All of that stuff matter too in the Premier League, whether people like it or not. Enzo might be the best midfielder in the world playing in La Liga or playing, somewhere else, but in the Premier League, it's just never going to work out for him. Every time Chelsea play without Enzo, they play better. That's just my honest opinion.
That's not true, but okay.
Name me a time. Name me an example then, if it's not
All
this.
3 times against City.
Yeah, but listen.
Oh,
Poch
no,
is
no.
Wait,
Pep's
zero
antidote.
wins.
Poch is
Yo,
Pep's
wait.
antidote.
3 times, 0 wins, and the 3rd time he had less touches than Petrovic. So I'm confused. Is that the example you're
tactics,
using?
CB? We wanted them to have the ball. What are we doing here?
No, but it's about build up. It's about build up. That's the reason why.
Build up. It's not about build up.
He's
You
a
give
deep
them the
lying
ball.
playmaker.
You allow
Why
them
does
to
he have
the
less
ball.
touches than the
That's what we've
keeper?
done all 3 times. We allowed them to have the ball. That's what we've done. We pressed on them and broke on them. We've done it all 3 times. Anyway, Enzo didn't play. We don't even talk about him. Let's go.
Yeah. So, recap the game. I'm gonna do this game with no agendas, just keeping it 100 solid. But I'm gonna start with the positives. I want to give credit where it's due to Mauricio Pochettino. He's been on my bad books, obviously after the Arsenal game. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. We was 2-0 down. At halftime, I was thinking, okay, this could be 3 or 4. Once again, I give credit to the players, the test of characters. Why I'll give the credit to Pochettino more is because he inverted Cucurella. That's a tactical buzzword. Forgive me for using it. But he brought Cucurella and inverted him in midfield. And you can see how compact we were in the midfield with Caicedo, Gallagher, and Cucurella. We essentially shut down Villa in the second half. I also want to give him credit for subbing on Disassi. I saw on the timeline a lot of people were questioning why he subbed him on, asking for a defender.
But Thiago was injured, weren't he, CB? Thiago was injured. That's why he subbed him on, or else he wouldn't have subbed him on.
Yeah, I agree. He subbed him on, and he got the goal. And at the time when he got the goal, I thought we won. I didn't see the disallowed. I'm running around the house screaming, "Yes, we done it, landed it." I've come downstairs and they're playing on, and it's 2-2. I was like, "What?" So that was a bit of a mess on my part, but yeah. So I say credit to Pochettino for those changes and some to the system. I want to give credit to the players, which is something I don't usually do. You know how I feel. Everything you basically said, Husam, I agree fully. I don't think the squad is good enough. The level of our squad. I look at Aston Villa's team. Douglas Costa, Konza, Pau Torres start for us. You could argue Matty Cash would start today. Emi Martinez starts for us. Douglas Luiz McGinn start for us. Bailey, Watkins, Diaby start for us. The state of our squad is mid-table quality. But I'll give credit to the players today in terms of the second half. It was a massive test of character. I wanted them to show some fight coming after the 2 bad.
TB, we play with 10. We play with 10 men today. Do you know they hardly went to Mudryk in the second half?
Yeah, the second half.
Oh my God, that guy. That Mudryk guy. Oh my God. How do you shoot and it ends up at the corner flag? How do you shoot and it ends up at the corner flag? That guy's finished.
Remove Don from the stream now.
I'm happy Don is here.
He turned off his camera. Here you go.
Guy doing Mudryk drop Don. Let's see B talk. Let the real talk. Like that.
While Don is here, I'll give credit where it's due to Madueke. I think in the second half he was terrific going forward. You know, he led the charge in terms of our comeback. Then we stopped playing the ball to Mudryk. Everyone was force feeding him. Cole Palmer had an awful game. It's okay as Chelsea fans for us to say he was awful today. I feel like since he's been the number 1 in terms of Golden Boot and a lot of appreciation he's been being given, I've noticed that the performances have dropped. Even the free kick, he's trying to do things that he wouldn't normally try in terms of the basics. He's trying to do too much. The free kick that he had where he tried to drag it across goal, he's like he's looking for the big moment. And I want him to just play his usual game, forget the pressure, forget the Golden Boot, forget that all the praise that we give you. Just be back on earth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, once again,
Madueke was better second half. Madueke was better second half as well.
Yeah, Madueke was better in the second half. As well as that, one thing I will say as a fan base that I've noticed is, in terms of Pochettino hate and Enzo love, a lot of the fan base were very happy that we didn't win the game. A lot of the fan base were wishing that we didn't win the game for the greater good. Well, I look at the greater good and I see we can still be in Europa League football. Man United dropped points today. Newcastle dropped points early in the week. Brighton dropped points early in the week. We can still get Europa League football. For the young players, it would actually do them some good. I saw Cho and Loftus-Cheek, rise to the occasion for Chelsea in the Europa League. I also feel like winning through the Europa League, because we have a 100% record there. Hold tight, Arsenal and Liverpool, we couldn't do that. But we got 100% record there in the Europa League. So when I look at that, it's a clear pathway. It's a clear pathway to Champions League football. I don't see the squad finishing in the top 4. So when it comes to Europa League, this is the easiest way we can get to the Champions League for us personally. And I would prefer, with the bloated squad that we have, where we want to have more incomings, we need more football. So this notion that, because Enzo's not playing or Pochettino's not playing, you hate Pochettino and want him sacked, I don't want to win games. That's not Chelsea. At the end of the day,
that's not being a fan. That's not
exactly.
Being a fan,
that's not Chelsea. That's agenda over the club. And I can never stand for that. Now, speaking on the topic of Enzo, I've noticed this is the second game this month where Caicedo actually looks like a £115 million midfielder. And it's no coincidence that is when Daddy Yankee is not in the middle of the park. When Enzo is not there, slurping, twerking like Ice Spice in the middle of the park, losing all his jewels, not tracking back in transition. Gallagher, you guys call him a dog. Enzo would have tore his ACL. He would have popped his hernia trying to score that goal today. But you guys give him the flowers. Don't do the play favors. Give credit to everyone. I'm not the biggest fan of Madueke. I'm not the biggest fan of Poch, but I've given credit to all the players.
It was a very rare second half we played well. We don't usually come out the second half.
No. Winter Surfer, you literally dominated Aston Villa at their ground.
You did.
And by the way, I know a lot of people wanted to say, and I've seen this a lot, the analysis, but Aston Villa allowed us to dominate them. No. Aston Villa were trying to play the ball from the back.
Yeah.
Aston Villa were trying to dominate, and the pressure really suffocated them. People don't talk about that. People want to say they were 1-0 up. No, Aston Villa were trying to play. And by the way, nobody this season went to Villa Park and dominated Aston Villa. No one, including Arsenal, including Manchester City. No one. Today, by the way, the 2 goals, it don't reflect what the game happened. The deflection from Kukurea, it doesn't reflect. You created chances. And again, Nicholas Jackson, a donkey in front of the goal, has everything else but a donkey in front of the goal. But he's a striker. So
that's credit to the second half, and is credit to Poch for moving Kukurea in the centre and pushing Gallagher up further. Gallagher's best player.
Andrew doing Poch prop. Let's go.
No, don't even try that with me. Don't even try
that. Let's go, Andrew. That's the Andrew I know. Let's go. Let's go.
No. But
say it with me. Pochen. Bolly out. Say it.
Shut up. But Gallagher's best work is always further up the field. It's further up the field because he can press. Whatever you think about him, that's his best attribute. He can press, he tackle, and do that. That's what he can do. And
finish as we start today. To be fair.
And Kukurea in the centre helped out. I'm just amazed we got the 2-2 draw with 10 men, because I swear I saw Mudryk like that several times.
Yeah, they just don't rate that kid at all.
We couldn't take him off because there was no one on the bench.
Because of injuries. No, I agree. I want to get Don's take on the game. Then I want to talk about the major incident. Don, what did you make of today, bro?
Yeah, I think you lot have pretty much covered it, man. I think, listen, I was surprised, man. Going into this game, I wasn't confident at all. I was on stream yesterday with CB. I did a show with Josh as well, big him up, a view from the stands. And I said, listen, I predict Aston Villa to beat us 3-1, man. I didn't know what lineup Poch was going to go with. I didn't know how the players were going to turn up. All I'm seeing at the minute is doom and gloom of Chelsea, Poch throwing everyone under the bus. Everyone should be under review, including myself. It's just shit what's going on right now with the team. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had no confidence. And obviously Villa Park, these lot have got Champions League to play for, man. But listen, in the first half, as always, I was seeing us keeping the ball, but we weren't doing much with it. Every time Aston Villa got the ball, I felt like they're going to do something. Do you know what I mean? It's because they're well drilled in that final third. And obviously they've got better players. They've got Leon Bailey, who's better than Madueke. You've got on the left-hand side, you've got Rodgers as well. He's better than Mudryk at the minute. And obviously Ollie Watkins, they've got a proper striker. So they looked a little bit dangerous at the beginning. And listen, for that first goal that they scored, again, everyone just switched off. Everyone's just ball watching. You know, even Cucurella for the deflection there, you can see he's not even aware of what's going on around him. Do you know what I mean? Everyone just switched off there. But I'm thinking, yo, what mentality are these guys going to come back with? But they changed their mentality. They didn't give up. They carried on. But again, the way that we were set up wasn't allowing the team to really play that well. Palmer, you know, in the first half, he was poor. You know, he was poor in the first half. Again, I wasn't seeing anyone really making any runs off of Madueke. He kept trying to get the ball in the first half, Madueke, but no one around him was moving. Mudryk in that first half, left-hand side, grenade football, very poor today. Do you know what I'm saying? He kept getting the ball. He kept giving it away, running into blind alleys. You know, that's the only thing I'd say with Cucurella. He doesn't really overlap. That's the really annoying thing about him because Mudryk was isolated quite a bit at times. But again, on the ball, he wasn't good enough. But like you lot have said in the second half, tactical tweak from Poch, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm seeing Cucurella going into the midfield and helping these guys. And what that allowed, it allowed Caicedo to just sit and Gallagher to help Palmer with that press. And that's exactly what we did last time when we played Aston Villa. If you guys remember, when we went to for the FA Cup, we had Gallagher and Palmer pressing in a 4-4-2 off the ball and was winning the ball back quite high. And that's exactly what Aston Villa struggled with today. Do you know what I mean? I've checked all the stats. We had about 72% possession. We had about 20-something shots, more big chances created as well. You know, I left that game thinking, yo, we could have won that game. And before the game, I had no confidence whatsoever because Villa are a better team than us and they've got a better coach. But in that second half, bro, the tweet that Poch made, it definitely helped these lot play better. It definitely helped these lot play better. And listen, Madueke, I told you, lot, this guy's dangerous one-on-one. And you lot tried to laugh at me. Today, he was a driving force, bro, in coming back.
Oh,
He
my
was a driving
God.
force.
Don, why are you so reluctant to give Poch?
No, don't say Don. Don't say Don.
Guys,
I told you lot that this guy's good at
Hang on a
taking on
minute.
his man.
No,
He tried to
hang on a
dismiss
minute.
people.
But that isn't Don. Let me just say, I tweeted the same thing. It wasn't you saying he's dangerous. It's when you said he's one of the best in the league that people had.
He is one of the best in the
disagreed
league
with
at
you.
taking on his man because he is, bro. You think you
Listen,
keep focusing, you keep saying this, Thierry. Your point is this. Your point is this. He can't be one of the best
DB, don't
at
say
taking on his man.
anything.
He can't be one of the best at taking on his man because he ain't got the greatest end
That
product.
isn't no. I've got to stop you, Don. That's not what Don. I'm stopping you. That's not what I've said. In your original post, your words were he's one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league.
I said one of the no. I said he's one of the best at taking on his man. Don't change
No.
my word.
1v1 dribblers. That was the
Change my
exact
word.
word. 1v1 dribblers.
I said an attribute. I spoke about an attribute which he has, which is literally proven by my eye test and the stats. And you're trying to change my words. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. You're trying to change my words. I didn't say that. I didn't say he's one of the best attackers in the league.
So 1v1 dribblers.
No, you said. I didn't say best attackers.
Yes,
You're
you
now-
literally just said that, Terry. I literally just heard you
didn't.
say that, bro.
Please stop talking. You said
I will talk when you lie, bro. Don't try to lie. You just lied.
I didn't lie. I said you. I
Because
said
didn't say one of the best attackers. I said he's one of the best.
Stop. I said Don. I said you. My words were you said he's one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league.
No, I didn't say that, bro. Then you're hearing things. I said he's one of the best at taking on his man, and you're trying to twist my words.
You said the
You're
exact
narrative,
quote,
bro.
Terry, was
You're not
best
making any sense.
1v1
He's
dribbler
He's
in
one
the
of the
league.
best at. I said he's one of the best at taking on his man because he is.
Yeah,
And Terry's trying to twist my
1v1
words.
dribbler in the
Terry's trying to
league.
twist my words as if I said he's one of the best wingers in the league. I never said that. I never said that. I said that
Hey,
taking on
Don,
his
how
man.
do you feel about us looking
Hold on,
good
CB.
without Enzo
I said
again?
that taking on his man. I said that taking on his man is one of the best in the league. And once again today,
Good
he
question,
showed it.
CB.
Because when he was taking on his man, he was looking very dangerous. And he's one of the reasons why we actually came back in the game, bro. Like I said, in the first half, he was trying to think. No one around him's moving. Do you know what I'm saying? Second half, he was driving. Like I said, he was a driving force. And he scored a good goal. And he scored a good goal. He's
Don,
dangerous.
how do you feel about us looking? Don, how do you feel about us looking good without Enzo? How do you feel about us looking good without Enzo again? 2 games in a
Bro,
row?
it's got nothing to do with Enzo today. The tweak in that midfield was Cucurella.
There
He's
you
the
are.
reason. He
There
helped.
you
He helped Gallagher
are.
press
I
up a
agree.
little bit further up. That was the big. That was the
Just
biggest
very
thing.
quickly, Don. I respect what you're saying, but I'm not a liar.
They play centre backs at fullback as well. You know, we've got Madueke now. You might not rate Madueke like that, but Madueke is one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league, bro. Yeah, and I'll say that.
It's exactly what you said. You said he's one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league. Now,
Yeah.
let me just say this to you, bruv. At taking people on, I agree with you. All I said to your original point, which is attackers, is that just beating a man with no end product, you can't be one of the best.
But that's not the point that I made though, Terry. He's attacking. If he's
Hang on a
attacking his man,
hang on a minute, Don,
when he's taking on his man, he's attacking his man. He's one of the best at it.
Don,
He's one
but
of the best
listen,
at it.
again, but you're not, again, if you beat your man and there's no end product, that take on is almost pointless.
It's not pointless, bro. It's not pointless
It is
because
pointless.
Traore is one of the best at taking on his man. That's not me saying he's got good end products, bro.
Why does that matter? If there's no
Why
end
does it
product,
matter? What do you mean, why does it matter? Because not every winger can do it. Not every winger can do it, bro.
Don. But if there's no end product or a little end product, okay, from someone like Traore, there's very little end product. Him taking somebody on isn't dangerous, is it?
But bro, hold on, Terry. You're trying to take away an attribute that a lot of wingers these days struggle to have, bro. How many times do we talk about wingers?
I'm not taking the attribute
away.
away.
Let me finish my point.
Go on.
Yeah?
But you didn't answer my question.
Popcorn in the chat, please.
When I talk to you about wingers, Terry, all the time, I always tell you, I like my attackers to be very direct. That's a basic skill that you should have as a winger, right? And when I talk about Madueke, right, when I tell you that he's dangerous one-on-one, is because he's good at taking on his man, bro. He's good at attacking his man. Same thing as Traore. He's good at attacking his man. But when you hear my take about Madueke, I say it all the time, bro. He needs to improve his end product. And I said last year his end product was poor, right? This year he's actually improved his end product. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of like one of the best wingers in the league, I'm not going to have that conversation yet, bro. He needs to show me more. But he has the potential to get there. But at the minute, bro, as raw as he is, he's one of the best at taking on his man, bro. One-on-one. He is.
Okay.
He is, bro.
So when it comes to beating somebody, taking someone on, if we're singling it down to that attribute, I would have agreed with you. But your original statement was one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league. Now, saying he's one of the best one-on-one attackers,
he's one of the best.
Hang on a minute. Saying he's one of the best one-on-one attackers, that's more than just beating a man, because you're putting it into the context of attacking, which means you're beating someone, you're creating opportunities, you're breaking lines, you're being literally dangerous after that take on. That's all we disagree on here. But like I said, I didn't lie about what you said. You did say one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league, and I think that's a little bit too far for Madueke at the moment. But credit where credit is due today. I thought he had an excellent game. I liked his attitude. I liked his behavior. I liked how he kind of got in the faces of Aston Villa players. He took his goal absolutely brilliantly. The only thing that frustrated me with him today is when he went through on goal and he did a bit of an Anthony. He should have used his right foot to put it across the box, and he used his left foot instead. And that's what I look at him as an attacker. That's when you become one of the best, where you're making the right decisions in those scenarios on a very regular basis.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's the problem with Madueke, though, Terry, because the ability is there, but it's the mentality, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I watched him at the Emirates, bro, I'm watching this guy off the ball, and he's so lazy. Do you know what I'm saying? But today, I'm actually seeing him actually running off the ball, actually trying to drive at his man. The other day, bro, it's like he couldn't be bothered to play. So I think it's a mentality thing more than anything, because he's dangerous one-on-one, bro. Dangerous, but like you said, Terry, I agree. He can improve his end product, and he should with more game time.
But he has got a right foot because he scored a screamer away at Luton. That's what I don't understand. He has got a right foot.
But that's not a consistent thing, though.
I know
that's like once in a while.
He's not working on it, is he? That's the problem. He's only doing it now. And
again. I think Madueke is not the hill to die on anyway.
No, it's not.
I'm not down on no hill, but I just like what he brings on the wing, man. Because I'm tired of these inverting wingers, bro.
Don, 1 second. We get it. Madueke is good at dribbling. Well, no one gives a fuck. So is Diaz. I want to
Diaz conversation.
Now, back to the chat. I feel like you're dodging the actual questions here, which is obviously the Enzo question, because you didn't give a real answer to CB. And I think CB asked a good question here, because it's not agenda or a pylon on Enzo. Over the last 3 games, we've watched 3 games of Chelsea. One game, you won by 6 against Everton. The other game, you went to Aston Villa, drew 2-2. Both of them were without Enzo. You go to Arsenal away, he's by far one of your worst players on the pitch, and you end up getting slapped by 5. Now, once again, this was an agenda. I would have been saying this from the start of the season. Even Winter Server, who disagrees with me, will start saying this from the start of the season. I rate Enzo highly, but now I'm looking at it. Maybe the guy just doesn't suit the Premier League. In terms of Poch tactical adjustments, I'm so happy to see people praise Poch. I told you guys the manager is not the problem. Should always listen to me when it comes to Chelsea. I told you guys the manager is not the problem. Him inverting Cucurella is what made this game 2-2. I told the people, do not listen to these Chelsea fans gaslighting about these shit players. And now, once again, he's in. So, Don, there's another thing you said. You want to have the Mudryk Martinelli conversation again? Mudryk shooting at the corner flag and shit? You want to have that conversation? You want to have that conversation, Don? Talk to me about Mudryk. Be honest, no agenda. How did he play today?
Bro,
Be
I've
for real.
told you lot. I've told you my take on Mudryk. I've told you he's hot and cold. I've told you I see the bad. I told you I see the good.
Name
But
the
what-
last time he was hot.
People like to. What is Husam? My problem with people that like to slander Mudryk here is that they don't acknowledge any good that he does when he does do good.
Name one
When he
good
does
that
bad,
he does. Name
When
it.
he does bad, that's the only time they speak about him. When he does
I'm
good,
asking
they
you,
like to
name the
ignore him.
one good he does. Name the one good he does.
What is Mudryk good at? Serious.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
what
What
is
is
he
name
good at?
one?
Tell
What
me.
do you mean? Name
Yeah,
one?
tell us, what is he good at?
What-
Tell
what
us.
did
Yeah,
he
tell me
do?
what he's good at.
Guys, let me just jump in for it. Let Don answer the question. What is it he's good at?
Yeah, like I said, when he came off the bench against Newcastle, when he scored that goal, when he came off the bench, like I said, he was good. When he came off the bench, when we flipping knocked Newcastle out of the Carabao Cup as well, he came on and scored. Against Palace, he was good. He got dropped straight after that. Do you know what I mean? Against Arsenal, I remember early start of the season, he was good. Do you know what I mean? There's been a few performances where he's been good, but like I said, there's been a lot of performances where he's been bad. I remember Leeds in the first half, he was good. Second half, he stunk out the place, bro. Actually, no, was it Leeds or what game was that, Andrew, when we played in the cup? Where Mudryk, second half, was terrible, bro.
I don't know.
There's been a lot of games.
You haven't answered the question. Don't answer. You haven't
There's
answered.
been a lot of games where it's been bad. But like I've said to you, Mo,
Ability-wise.
Don't. It's a simple question. What is Mudryk good attributes in the
Yes.
football?
Lovely blonde hair.
Convince us.
bro,
Yes.
he's definitely his pace. Definitely his pace, like I've said.
Yes.
In terms of actually wanting to be direct at times, he can be direct. But again, he's hot and cold. There's certain games where he doesn't want to do it. There's certain games where he loves doing it, bro. I remember Everton away when he was crossing the ball so many times for Jackson. I remember we played Bournemouth away as well. He was good in that game. He was quite direct.
Basically.
Do you know what I mean? But again, he's very hot and cold, bro. He's very
Is
hot and
Darwin
cold.
Núñez a good player for you? Is Darwin Núñez a top player for? Is Darwin Núñez a good player? Same age. Is Darwin Núñez a good player for you, Don? Do you think
Yeah, I think he's
Darwin Núñez?
effective, but he's not a good finisher.
So you think Darwin Núñez is a good player? Is a good footballer? As someone who can. Be
I think
used
he's effective, but I think he's a poor finisher, bro.
Okay, I'm not sure. Look, Sam's about to lose his head. Here it is. Sam's about to lose his head. Guys, being quick doesn't mean you're a good footballer. There is 100,000 people that play track and field around the world that can actually come in and run quick, right? There's tons of them. The Mudryk doesn't have the fundamental abilities of a footballer. I don't know when can he learn that. Whoever scouted Mudryk and made him a professional footballer
Need
should
to
be
get
sacked.
fired.
Yeah, now, because he's so quick. The guy runs ahead of the ball, doesn't have the actual brain to actually put the right weight on a pass or a shot or an actual dribble. His first touch is atrocious most of the time. Atrocious. He isn't a footballer. He is a marathon runner or 100-meter
He's a
runner.
track and field star.
Bro, he's a track and field guy. He isn't a footballer, right? And it's proven because a lot of, and I want to add something.
For Madueke and
I
Mudryk.
want to add something, Husam.
Wow.
A lot of Chelsea fans told us we need Mudryk to have a chance. We need Mudryk. He started 3 games back to back to back. 3 games back to back to back. What now? He started continuity. He's getting worse by the game. By the way, he's getting worse by the game. Bro, I've never seen a footballer get worse with continuity. The guy's getting worse by the game. There is no. I don't know why he's still playing. Why he's not on the transfer market?
Yeah, he's had a more. I can't lie to you. Right now, he's not in good form, bro. He's not in good form. He touched a little bit of good form a few weeks ago when he was coming off the bench and he was starting a few games here and there. But again, he's gone back to the same old Mudryk. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not looking good.
Don, like he's been at your club 18 months. How much longer? Like he's turning 24, so he's not young anymore. Like, how much longer genuinely do you give him to start delivering to a standard that Chelsea fans are accustomed to?
Yeah. Listen, I had this conversation, funny enough, with someone earlier. For me, I'm still hoping Poch goes, and I'm hoping they bring in a competent coach. And for me, I'll give him that season to see what he can do. You know, I'm not going to fight for Mudryk at the end of the day because I never wanted this guy. The guy that I wanted in that January was Trossard. I said, listen, we need to bring him in. De Zerbi's frozen him out. That's going to be an easy move. You'll come London. That's an easy one. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing us hijacking the move for Mudryk. Everyone thought he was going Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to fight for this guy. Like I said, even though I think he can become a good player, but end of the day, I still think that he hasn't been mismanaged the way I would like him to be managed. Today, obviously, he's poor. Like I said, the past few weeks he's been poor. But for me, I'll give him another opportunity with a different coach, hopefully a better coach, and then see how he gets on. But after that season, with a better coach, for example, if we bring in like a De Zerbi and he's still stinking out the place, then I'll be like, yeah, do you know what? I'm done. Obviously,
Zerbi, you tried that with Potter, brother.
Bro, De Zerbi, say that again?
De Zerbi, you tried that with Potter. He's the guy that
Bro,
built Brighton up.
Potter didn't trust him, bro. He wasn't even making certain squads with Potter. Potter barely
No,
played
I'm
him.
talking about you wanting De Zerbi. You know what it is, Don? This I actually figured out your problem. I'll tell you your honest problem. Your honest problem is you actually think you have good players. Like, I fully believe that's genuinely the problem with this conversation. Like, if I were to ask you, if I were to put you in a lie detector test and go
We do
like,
have good
Don,
players.
We do have good
100%.
players.
No,
Bro,
exactly. If I were
like today against Aston Villa, if these guys are
one second. If I were to put you in a lie detector test and go like, where do you believe Chelsea could finish with a good manager? You would say top 4, because that's really where you think the level of the players.
I said that's not the season.
I just 1 second. Let me land. I just think right now, if you just do a quick mental exercise and do a Chelsea Wolves combined 11, you would find that. You would have more Wolves players in a Chelsea Wolves combined 11. And that's not me having agendas. I can give you my combined 11 right now. You'd see it's non-agenda based. And that for me proves, listen, the reason why I'm not against, I think Poch should stay, is not only because you've given him too much to work with in a short period of time. It's the fact that this is where you're expected to be. Where are you currently? Aren't you 8th after today's draw?
No, it's still 9th.
Still 9th because of goal difference, right? But you have 2 points. You have 2 games.
Yeah, 2
in
games
hand,
in hand, 1 point behind.
2 games in hand. So even if you draw one of them, essentially you're 8th.
Yeah.
And that's where I expect Chelsea to be, because these players need not experience only around them. They themselves need experience, meaning playing more football, getting better. Even today, you played Aston Villa, right? If Liverpool want to win the league this season, if I go to Aston Villa, I take more players to help me than I take from Chelsea. That's just the ultimate reality. You guys, I feel like you always judge your players based on potential.
The thing is, though,
you think the guy's going to be good 3 years from now doesn't mean he's good now.
Husam, the thing is, listen, what you're saying, bro, like, the thing is, it doesn't really mean anything to me, because I know a lot of these players are not Chelsea level, bro. If it's up to me, I'm not signing Mudryk, bro. I'm not signing Madueke. I'm not signing these guys, bro. Yeah, and you're trying to make it out as if I love these guys to the point where I want to sign them. No, bro. If it's up to me, I'm going for guys like Leao.
He's the best one-on-one attacker in the league.
Players.
How are you Poch out then?
Say that again.
How are you Poch out?
Because I still feel that he can get more out of these players. You literally came on earlier. One of you, I think it was you, Mo or Husam. You're saying how no one's gone to Villa Park and basically played like that and been the better team over there. Arsenal haven't done it. Yeah. Said Man City haven't done it, right? And you're saying that these players aren't good. Now, on paper, Aston Villa, you would probably take their attack. But in that second half, what was their attack doing? We were the ones that were looking more dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying? So these man, again, they're not Chelsea level, but they're not the worst players. They're not useless players where you can't do anything with them, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And today proved it again, because we're the better team against no one expects us to do anything.
Don, Luton drew against
Liverpool. The better team today, bro.
Singular game. You cannot use a singular game as a measuring stick. Luton drew against
Liverpool. Game, bro.
Luton drew against
Liverpool. How can I not use
doesn't mean we're similar levels just because we drew.
Yeah.
Bro, you said our players are not good, and I disagree with that. I disagree with that point that our players aren't good. They're not Chelsea level, yes. I agree with that. They're not Chelsea level, yes. But today they were better than Aston Villa, who on paper should have been better than us, bro, because they've got better players.
I agree that they
you're not going to get a new manager, Don. What are you going to do? You're not going to get a new manager.
Yeah.
What is going to happen?
I get that, boys. Before we just, I want to go back to the game for a second. Sorry, just in interest of time. Don, what was your take on the disallowed goal?
Oh yeah. You're on mute,
bro. I thought it was a foul. I can't lie. I thought it was a foul, man. If that was against us, I'll be screaming foul. So I don't see anything wrong with it. In all honesty, it was a clear foul. It is where it is. It's annoying, but I wouldn't want my team to get that against me, to be honest with you.
Well, what about yourselves as Sam, Mo? Like, do you think it was rightfully disallowed?
I'm gonna
listen.
Gonna trigger.
I go up against Manchester City. If that was Manchester City, Terry, I will ask you. You're the host of the Football Terrace. You have to be honest. If Manchester City were playing today, do you really think that goal gets ruled off? Be real right now.
No, I think I do agree with you. I think Man City get the goal. I do.
Terry,
can I listen? I was watching it. By the way, Greg Paulson was right looking at it, right? And he decided, by the way, and he told the VAR, and you can tell, wait. He told them that Carlos is leaning back, is going backwards. He told the VAR they wanted to disallow the goal. The guy is looking at it, and he explained what he saw. I get what Don is saying, that it might be a foul and it looks like a foul. There are clear angles that says that Carlos is going back towards Badiashile, right? I think there was not a clear and obvious error to overturn it, in my opinion.
Yes, that's true.
There wasn't,
That's true.
because he was looking at it. Like the clip
It wasn't
had a
clear and
clear
obvious.
angle.
No, it was though. Do you know what it is though, Mo? The
He
problem
was
here
looking
is
at it by the Don. He explained to the VAR room what he saw. We saw it. It was on TV. He told them that Carlos is going back. He explained to them that I didn't make a mistake, and they told him, "No, we think we think we should disallow it because it was right in front of him, and it was a." Listen, we see this all the time. A little bit of a push, a little bit of a lean, especially because he didn't go towards Carlos. Carlos was going back to him, right?
Yes.
So both went for it. Come on. I don't think this was warrants a disallowed goal, to be honest.
Yeah, the thing is, Mo, yeah, like, listen, Badiashile could have been a little bit smart of that, man. And I think the push was a little bit too blatant. That's the only thing. Like, the way he raised his arm was a little bit too much. That's the only problem, man. It was clear to see he raised his arm. If he kind of just, if he shrugged into him a little bit, then it'll be a little bit different. I think it's getting his body to him. But where he's lifted his arm, I think that's what the main problem is, man. It was a blatant foul.
I don't think they give it if we're in a title race. I think if Chelsea are in a title race, they don't give that.
You mean they let the goal? You mean you let the goal stand?
If we're in this title race, I think they don't.
But that's where sometimes it's subconscious from these referees. It's almost, some people think they do it on purpose.
You're in the title race. You mean if you're Man City?
Yeah, sometimes I think they do it subconsciously. Like it depends on the moment. It's a difficult one because for me, you barge someone in the middle of their back. I mean, it should be a foul. Someone said that he weren't going to win the ball. It shouldn't matter if that happened in the other box at the same time. It's still a foul during open play. You can't barge somebody.
Kick someone in the back, and
you can't barge somebody. You can't barge somebody in the back. However, I do get your point around it isn't a clear and obvious mistake. I looked at the Man United game today. Their penalty 110%. Onana punches him in the face, basically. But then we had one in the box where in real time I went, no. And then I looked at the replay and you clearly see the man's leg come through the back of Garnacho. Now you have to slow it down. I thought that's what VAR came in for. So we've got one where the referee says, no, there was no contact. And the replay shows there was, didn't overturn it. We see another where the referee is saying, I saw the push. I don't think it's a foul. But they're saying review it. He reviews it and they turn it over. So I do think, whether you think either one's a penalty or not, that's where the inconsistency with VAR does my head in.
Terry,
because I don't understand what clear and obvious means anymore.
Terry, do you remember when, before they were going to introduce VAR?
That wasn't clear and obvious.
Do you remember what the fans said, Terry, before they introduced VAR? Oh, we're not going to have anything to talk about. Do you remember fans saying that?
Yeah, they said
they're still human beings that are making the decision.
Exactly.
At the end. Instead of one guy, there are four guys arguing with each other. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
and they always come up with
Husam, when you say that it wasn't clear and obvious, when you say that it wasn't clear and obvious, sorry, my connection, I don't know what's going on. When you say that it's not clear and obvious, wasn't it clear and obvious to you that he lifted his arm, bro? He raised his arm.
No, when the thing is when
I'm
they say
go,
clear
lads.
and obvious foul,
cheers, mate.
Big up. When they say clear and obvious foul, like it's like some form of contact that
no. So that's not what clear and obvious means. Clear and obvious error means the referee has made a very big and obvious mistake. So if the referee sees the push in the back, but thinks not much in it, I need to understand what the big error he's made if the force was only a little bit more. If, for instance, if the referee says, I didn't see any push in the back, then that's a clear and obvious error because he then looks at it and goes, bloody hell, if I'd have seen that, I would have given a foul. That makes sense. The problem that we've had today is the referee's looking at it and seen it and then changed his mind, which they tell us they're not meant to do. We've seen one in the Man United game where the referee has gone no for no contact. The replay shows there's contact and they didn't review it.
And he didn't
and again, I'm using just that as it's two games today where there was a VAR decision. That for me is what I'm confused about with the Chelsea. I think Chelsea should have been disallowed, but I don't understand the clear and obvious protocol if the referee's looking at it. That's the element where, again, they don't want to have the microphones live during the moment because I think it's going to, I just feel like they know it's going to expose a lot of crap.
You know what it is for me, Terry, yeah? In this situation like this, I'm more annoyed at Badiashile for not being smarter. That's why I can't feel anything about it because where, like you lot are saying, it's true. Like Rodgers was backing into him. If you can see he's backing into you, let him go into you, bro, and just let him walk into you. Don't touch him. He touched him. That's the problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a good pass as well, man. It was a good pass as well.
I hear you. This year says, as far as I'm concerned, VAR is there to jump in if a ref has made a clear and obvious error. In my opinion, that is not a clear and obvious error. I personally don't like it being a clear and obvious error. I think they should step in and make sure they get the right decision. That for me always feels like
we're re-riffing the game, Terry.
I'm fine with that.
You're okay with that? Stopping every minute for every free kick, everything.
I don't think you don't, because it's for things like penalties, offsides, ball crossing.
Okay,
I wouldn't
so you decide stuff. You decide things where VAR. Okay.
Yeah, really important things. And then I think was there contact or not? Yes, you decide the threshold. That's a penalty. Not I saw it. I didn't think it was that bad. I liked VAR when it first came in. I thought that I feel like there was one penalty, and it's the Man United one sticks out in my head. We were away at Newcastle and Rashford. It looked like a really clean tackle on the edge of the box. And then they showed the replay and you saw that it wasn't. But the referee he made a mistake and he went back, and that they don't get given anymore. I liked it. Why do we overuse the term generational talent? Well, it's because it's subjective. Generational talent means a talent to become a generational player. And lots of young players have that talent. Whether they fulfill it or not is another question, Chike. I hope you're well, by the way. This is from SK, says robbery, Caicedo, Lavia, Palmer, 24-25 we will be there. Mudryk needs to go. Offer him and 50 million for Musiala. Also, Almiron is there for the taking. We can't miss. That would hurt you, wouldn't it, Sam, if they picked up your Almiron? Remember Almiron? Imagine Almiron rejects Liverpool and ends up at Chelsea. That'd be a madness. Be like Caicedo all over again.
Yeah, both of them in tears.
Kyrgios here says, for Sam, I agree with you to an extent. Poch is doing the most with what he's given, but it doesn't excuse his lack of tactical decision-making today. Was the first half I saw him successfully make a tactical change.
I want to say something to you, Kyrgios. I feel like this is the problem with the Chelsea fans that want Poch out. They use these buzzwords such as structure and tactical adjustments and all these things just to try to get Poch out their football club. Chelsea are where I expect them to be given their squad and their injuries. You see, if people want to talk context is not sexy, specifically because I'm a Liverpool fan. I should come here and just do, haha, Chelsea, you're crap, and just move on. No, I'm actually giving context. And the reality is you've had a hell lot of injuries this season. We haven't even seen Lavia yet. We haven't even seen Nkunku yet. Half of your squad has been injured for some point in time this season. Have you guys even seen Chelsea's bench today? You know that there's a reserve goalkeeper that they called back that used to play for #United. You know #United. I promise you that the guy on the bench, I forgot his name. He used to play for #United. He's
but Husam. Let
me give you his name right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, Husam, this is the thing though, Husam. Yeah, I know you like to defend Poch and that, yeah, but listen, you've spoken about the injuries. You've spoken about the injuries, yeah. We had 12 injuries today, but tactically, Poch still managed to find a way, and that's what you've got to do as a manager, right? Earlier on in the season, even with injuries,
sometimes
hold on, yeah. Bro, no. There's been times, bro, like Maatsen, for example. Maatsen was on the bench majority of the season, yeah. Instead of playing him there, he would play Levi Colwill there, and that's the easiest solution. Do you know what I'm saying? Didn't have to keep playing Thiago Silva every single game from early on in the season. He should have allowed other guys to build a little bit of chemistry. He didn't have to keep playing Ben Chilwell at left wing when there was other guys that could have played there. Do you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is a lot of the mistakes that he's made have been avoidable. You know, I'm someone that wanted Poch, bro. You're kind of like I've got this Spurs agenda. I don't give a shit about all of that. I wanted this guy to work out, but he hasn't been good enough.
I think he's actually good enough for Chelsea. I really believe so. And I think
today he was good.
If you give
today
this guy
he hasn't done enough.
And this transfer window, you sign a bit more experience, I think Chelsea could cook next season. But now you're not ready to cook. I don't think Pep would have cooked with the team or Klopp or anyone.
Yeah. KJ, you there? Go on, mate.
Yeah, just for 2 seconds. Yeah, Don, did you watch the squad?
I didn't.
Nah. Okay, I told CB one thing, yeah. I told you not coming Brom and getting 3 points. I told you not coming My City and getting 3 points. Wait, respect Birmingham, boys. Bun London. See you later.
Bro, I wasn't expecting 3 points.
He loves Birmingham so much. He supported the team from Manchester. Do you know what I mean? Come on now, my bro. I mean, I know I did, but I don't slag it. I don't big it. Don has some solid points. You'll just need to listen to understand. Poch has not been good. This was his first tactical change that we have witnessed. I'll be honest with you. That element of what Don says about Poch, I agree with. I think Poch has made a lot of mistakes. I just also think there's problems with the squad. I actually think it's multifaceted in that regard.
I agree with that too.
This is my favorite super chat of the night. It says, Don can be a good politician. First, he denies and calls Terry a liar. And then once Terry shows evidence, he says, my meaning was something else. I have to say, Don, you are the best I've ever come across for that sort of stuff. You're amazing.
Let me just say something, Terry. Yeah, cool. Let me just say something, Terry. I said, yeah, okay, cool. In that video, I said he's one of the best attackers. But what you're trying to make it out, you're trying to make it out like I'm saying he's one of the best wingers. He's got everything, all the attributes and that. If you see it like that, fair enough. That's understandable. Let me clarify what I said. Like I said, I think he's one of the best at taking on his man. That's how I kind of looked at it. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of wingers overall, bro, he's not up there yet, bro. He needs to prove more. And
I can take that point. My view is just because he's good at one of the attributes, for my view, and this isn't a disrespect to you, my reaction is just, so what? Because he's not doing all the other stuff properly yet. So it's almost for me just, it's fur coat, no knickers, if that makes sense. But I hear you, bro. This here says, to be fair to Don, Mudryk didn't want to go to Chelsea. He wanted Arsenal, hence maybe why his performances. I think there's something in that. I think sometimes just hijacking players, we see it happen a bit, and they always seem to flop.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Arsenal, is why he shoots at the corner flag.
Bro, everyone thought he was going to Arsenal, bro.
Look at Alexis Sanchez. He didn't really want to be at Man United. I think that can play a part. Don't know why Husam is pissed. Salah was doing his best impression of Nuni this entire season, but he's supposed to be world class. Klopp can't even save him anymore.
See his butt hurt, so he just responds the guy that I like in the team to use it against me. But it's never again.
See also says, wouldn't take Winter Surfer's opinion seriously. He flip-flops on who he likes and doesn't like on every stream. Does he? I mean, I only see him on my streams, really, so I wouldn't know that. Aaron Lennon was good at taking on man, but useless with his final ball. So it's all pointless if it leads to nothing. I mean, listen, yeah, Aaron Lennon, a lot of people raved about him. We all thought he'd get better, and he didn't. Igal is seen as the delusional idiot, but Don sits there every week looking like a muppet, and nobody does it. Let's say he doesn't look like a muppet. Like let's just keep it respectful.
This is crazy. You know, it is, Terry. This conversation that we had about Madueke, these don't even understand what was talking about. Was previewing the Man City game and was speaking about how we can get joy. Right? Man City plays centre backs at fullback. So I was like, I need Madueke to take his man on, right? Because Madueke one-on-one is one of the best attackers in the league at doing it. Right, but they're going on as if I just started propping him up out of nowhere. Was previewing the game, and CB being CB decided to take something out of context. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. Listen,
do you know what? I had this conversation with someone the other day. But like, a lot of people going on the Gal. I said it's because what you guys don't all see is our conversations in private as well. And then some of our conversations in private come out on streams. It's all love. It's all love, people. Relax. The terrorists don't do beef. Any beef, everyone leaves. A chance to break into Europe. Exactly. A chance to break into Europe last few weeks and just never over the hump. Fair play coming back in the second half, but it's just not good enough, is what Moose Wizard says. Terry says, Don, what did you make of the game? Don says, I told you, Terry, I told you players are out of position. I have a script in my mind now. I love it. I love it. No, you didn't. I think that was before you came on. I think people were anticipating you saying, I told you it's players out of position. Noni didn't deliver the ball to the attackers in the box, just got a goal as the ball fell to him. Yeah, more of that. Don, smile real quick, bro. Have you been caught in OLED? Also, where were you on Tuesday? The community has been out sending messages. Don phoned in. Don phoned the show. You must have left by then.
I was at the game, bro. I was at the game as well. I called in when I was on my way back.
Exactly. And Don told me hours earlier as well. Chelsea should look at Real Madrid as an example of a good youth project. True. Husam, Noni can bounce. He's mid.
You're welcome. C. I just woke up the true C feeling.
I think it's a good player, but it's not Chelsea level. That's what it is.
Yeah, this is everybody you have is at Chelsea level. This is it. Live with it. Live with it, bro. Live with it.
Chelsea's new. This is Chelsea's new level. Yeah, you guys.
Last season you were 8th. This season 9th. This is the level now.
Yeah.
I don't know why you expect.
One thing that I'll say, he's better than Mudryk. That's for sure. He's better than Mudryk.
That ain't difficult, buddy.
Hold on. It's better than Mudryk, and Mudryk is better than Martinelli.
I would have to guess Ryan Giggs has been retired for 10 years now. I reckon if Ryan Giggs got fit, I reckon Ryan Giggs would have a better season than Mykhailo Mudryk now at 52, 53, whatever he is. I really think it, and that's not even like me. Like, I look at Mykhailo Mudryk. I think 20. I sometimes think he's 18. He plays like he's 18 and raw. This man's 23, turning 24. It's a madness, you know.
Crazy.
It's
Crazy.
Yeah. You give these players a few years. If it hasn't worked, you've got to move on from there. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has tuned in. Make sure like buttons are hitting you subscribed. This stream's going to take you through to Mo and Husam's stream on MHF. So go and watch them and support them on that show now. Boys, thank you. Don, always a pleasure, brother, to speak football with you. To all of my super chatters, you're amazing. We're back tomorrow for the North London derby, Forest versus Manchester City as well. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again.